Hi, my name is Nancy Peebles, and here is my student ID. I will be talking about someone who is said to be one of the most notorious serial killers in history, Jeffrey Dahmer, also known as the Milwaukee Cannibal or the Milwaukee Monster. So I did research on different aspects of Dahmer's life, how he grew up, which was said to be pretty normal, like any other child. But when as Dahmer got older, he started being less social and didn't enjoy activities that he used to enjoy. And he started, well, what he did start enjoying and what became like a hobby of his was examining carcasses, animal carcasses. Where Dahmer developed his fascination with animal carcasses was most likely in a science class. Um, they didn't they weren't specific on which class, but it was at school when he was dissecting animal carcasses in class. I know that for me personally, when I had my honors marine biology class, I was not thrilled about the smell or anything to do um, with actually touching and examining the inside of dead carcasses. But for Dahmer, it was different. He actually took home the remainder of the carcasses, and he would then examine the carcass himself, but splitting it completely open and looking on the inside. Along with this odd deviation that Dahmer took in his life, around the same time, he started drinking a lot, and those are the two things that he was really taking interest in. Despite his drinking problem, Jeffrey did graduate from high school about when he turned 18, and around that time, probably no more than a month later, he did begin killing. And these killings lasted from 1978 to 1991. He killed a total of 17 people, those people being all male and being young males as well. And they were all males that he was attracted to. The summer of graduation, Dahmer's parents did get a divorce and left Dahmer living in the home by himself. It wasn't said really, but I would think not only did this give him the freedom to play out his fantasies, but maybe it was like a trigger to make him want to kill, because in the reports that I read, well, I'm sorry, not reports, but in the articles that I read, it did say that he did commit these acts, but because he wanted those people to stay. He didn't want to be alone, maybe. But again, this is just me thinking further into why he did what he did. And I'm not saying that this was the only reason, because we already know that he was fascinated by how the inside of a carcass looked, and how he started off with dead animals and moved on to humans. But this is just, like I said, a theory. So, since his parents didn't stay, maybe they didn't stay together, and they didn't stay with him at the home, then he felt he wanted someone to stay. He did have a point where he stopped killing for about 9 years, but that was only because he couldn't kill while he was in the military. Although he did get kicked out for his drinking problem, soon after he got kicked out, he did start killing again. After his second victim, Stephen Tuomi, Dahmer was put on the sex offender list because he did drug and rape a 13-year-old at his job, the Ambrosia Chocolate Factory. After this, Dahmer did continue killing. He had 15 more victims, but he only got caught last because one of his victims, he told them that he was going to eat their heart, and they managed to catch on, and they did get away and lead the police right back to Dahmer's apartment. Dahmer did have a 999-year life sentence. However, he didn't get to live that life in prison because Christopher Scarver ended his life before he was able to serve the sentence. Christopher Scarver did take Dahmer's life because he, out of everyone, was very disturbed about Dahmer's comments and his jokes about dismemberment and being a cannibal, and he decided to take action and end his life. But he did get 2 lives. If there were prior knowledge of what Dahmer was doing, I do believe it could have been stopped. Maybe reading the signs and knowing how his behavior changed from one moment to another. Drinking a lot is signs of something that's emotionally wrong with someone. Some people just enjoy it, but most likely something is emotionally wrong. Also, how Dahmer became very closed off as he was growing up, and the problems with his family, where his parents did get the divorce. I'm sure there were a lot of signs that if people were educated in knowing the signs, that they would have known something was wrong. But if people aren't educated enough in that sense to know when something isn't right, I don't believe there's really anything that could have been done to prevent this. And that does wrap up what I have to say about the Jeffrey Dahmer case. And I do want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.